Hey everybody, Tyler here, and this little video shows Luca, who is a 6-month-old Doberman, and the problem we've been having is that when we practice heel and we stop and ask him to sit, he wants to move too far back or too far off to the side. So I made this video to show a rather simple, non-technical way that you can address this problem without creating conflict between you and the dog. I also wanted to point out that traditional food luring was not successful in addressing this behavior. He would lure forward, but then when asked to sit, he would move away from the food and still rock backwards into the sit. I also want to point out that we're not training Luca for competitive purposes. He's just a pet dog, so this isn't a very refined training session. We're simply trying to clean up the behavior a little bit to make it a little bit more functional in the real world. So the way I decided to address this was to utilize these little cots. Luca's already familiar with the place command, so he tends to gravitate towards these already and knows to keep all 4 feet on them. The cot simply gives him a target so that he knows where his body's supposed to be. And you can see that he still wants to push out towards the side. He's very much on the edge of that cot. I also want to point out again that we're not training for real precision here. So I'm okay with him being slightly crooked, especially this early in the process. The next step is that I wanted to start to fade the targets a little bit. So all I did was put the cots upside down so that they're flatter to the ground, which makes less of a defined target area.
Yes. Sit. Yes. Heel.
What I love about this next repetition is that you can really see Luca becoming aware of his position, and he makes a really nice adjustment here and tucks in his back end to get closer to me.
Good. Yes, good job. Good boy, buddy. Heel. Yes.
One of the things that's very helpful in creating this awareness of his back end is these little pivots I do at the end of the series. So every time I make an about turn and pivot around the board, it really helps to tighten up his position and fix that crookedness because it makes him aware of his back end and the alignment of his body. You can also practice this rear end awareness on a single platform by simply pivoting around it 180 degrees. Again, I just want to point out that if I were training for competitive purposes where more precision is required, I would be going about this a little bit differently. After each session, Luca showed a little bit of improvement. Here he is after the first day, and you can see that although he requires a little bit of leash guidance to keep him close, he's doing much better than he was previously.
Yes, good. Good boy. That was nice, dude.
At the end of day 2, Luca is doing even better. Here you can see he pivots with me relatively nicely considering he's only had 2 sessions of practice. And he's also sitting and staying close to me without requiring as much help from the leash. Again, I love this next repetition because you can really see Luca thinking and making an adjustment with his body.
Yes. Good boy. Good. Good boy. Break. Good job, buddy. Yeah. 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 What a good boy. What a good boy. Luca,